Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation about e-commerce system for the class software engineering 2. Uh, first we uh, first we move to the project report of our group. So the introduction. In our project we use SDLC methodology, Agile methodology to be specific. The Our product is about an online store that sells fashion items with basic functions like browsing, searching for items, and other features like creating dedicated account to add uh, item to cart for later browsing. Uh, Admin can also use the admin system to edit the product on the store and add more product to the add more product. Uh, so in this project report, we have all the requirement analysis, system designs. We don't put it all in here. We choose to put it in other documents. So this will look more clean. Uh, uh, in our project, the technology we use for the back end is Spring Boot. For the front end is Angular. We decide to split the back end and the front end uh, to because some of our members are more skill skillful in front end, so we decide to split. And for the database we use MySQL. For the deployment we use Heroku, and for the testing we use OpenAPI, and sometimes using the Postman. uh, Next we next we move to the demo website demo. This is our website. So as you can see, we already deploy it on Heroku. You can visit it on this link. We put it in at the end of our report. So if you uh, open this website the first time, you will have an account. This is what you will see. You can add the product in to the account, but since we don't log in right now, we haven't logged in right now. So when we add, we will be prompt to log in. If you don't have an account, you can register here. Like I put my name, Tuấn Anh, password one. We don't use validation right now because we feel like because we still in testing. Okay. If I intentionally put the account wrong, it will set wrong username and or password. So if I put the account right, put the yeah, we'll move to the home screen. Now after we log in, we can add more product to our store. After the successful with after successful add, it will prompt a message like this, a notification, so we know that our product have moved to the cart. So this is a trending. As you can slide with your mouse to see what going on here. Uh, you can also browse by categories. Like if I want to buy men fashion item, I can move here. It will list all the men fashion item. Uh, Next, another major function is the cart. We can move to the cart here. In the cart, we can add a quantity to each item we have us buy, or we can remove it from the cart. Before you check out, you can also apply a coupon code. Here, right, we have a coupon code with the name string. We apply coupon. and voila, we have discount item. So after you have you can check out. So in checkout, we will prompt to a website that you can pay with card, and after you enter the information and you pay it, the order the order will go to an order will send to the backend, and the order will be saved. Currently, we have no function to check our order history, but we think we will add it in the future. Next,
detail rồi
con thì chưa nói nha, để anh tí anh cắt nữa.
không?
Ok, đừng để anh nói tiếp. So next we can move to the product detail. Like here. As you can see here, you can add the quantity to each item and add much as you want and add to cart here. Or you can also review, add description, additional information, and adding review for the product like this. Very good. So each user will have at most one comment. After that, other people can see the review. Uh, like you can see, just now I put 9 items of selected in the cart. Now we have 9 in the cart. So that is about it. Most of the I have just reviewed most basic function of our website for user. Now we move to the admin. Um, I will give the presentation to Mr. Tuấn. Okay.
Thank you, Tuấn Anh, for the information about the layout. And now I am Tuấn and I am the backend developer. I'll show you how our server works and how we handle all of the requests from the front. And as you can see here, the technology that we use is Spring Boot. It's one of the most common framework now for Java nowadays. And our layout is divided into three main parts. Firstly is the model. The model is the data that represent the data, actual data from the database. And the second part is the service. This is the place where we handle all of the logically and all the functionality of our workflow. And finally, is the controller. The controller is the endpoint for the API that received by the frontend. And now about the database. We use Postgres database for our project. As you can see here, Heroku have provided us a default database that we can create a connection based on the data, based on the given data. It's actually free, and this is our data. We store it in here. It's not much because it's free, so we just have a limited amount of data that we can. And now let's talk about our administrator. Let's log in first. This is our administrator dashboard. There are some functional that we can use here. For example, like we can see all of the product. We can manage all the product. Here, we can add the product. product name. Category. And about the image is a little bit of tricky, so we have to create a cloud service that we have to store the image in there. Yeah, I have a er.png just for the example. Like that. Okay, the product have successfully added to the product list. And you can see the product as the last. And about the image, where do we store it? So we use a cloud storage called the Minio. This is actually it's like the Google Drive or Amazon service, but it's free, and it's the image that we store here only lasts for 7 days. Yeah, this is the image that I have just uploaded. That's the reason why this image is not loaded, because it was deleted after the 7 days. And you can delete it. You can do all the things that the administrator can do. The same with the category and the voucher. Okay, about the testing phrase. So how do we test our API? I actually use a framework called the OpenID from the Spring to test our API. As you can see here, this is all of our APIs. Like, for example, if I want to test any kind of API like view list, view the product list, the data, and there will be some function that need authentication. For example, if you want to view of the user, you need authentication here. So all you need is just log in here, log in with an account. And you can get a JWT token. This is the token that we use to authorize all the API that need authentication. And you come to authorize, you paste it here. Okay, now you have the authorized authentication. Like view the user. Okay, here is also user. And we did the same with other API. And about the testing report, I actually use some. We have report some major use case that we need to test. We have listed in here, and some test case is similar with the input that we need to input in the here, like the field. Okay, that's everything you need to know about our project. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Tuấn. Now I will talk about the front-end code. I will explain all the things that happen here. So as you can see, each time I open a new part, a new part of the website, it doesn't reload the web page because we are currently using Angular is based on component system. So each time we open the new component, you don't have to reload the page uh, about the component. So each of the component will have four basic items: the HTML, the base, the CSS for the style, the specification from, and the component TypeScript file that include all the logic, like include all the logic to when this is when the component first init, and this is a function that we click some button, it will move to this. So to call the API from the backend, we put it all into the service TypeScript file. You can call it from here. Our base URL is currently put in each service, but we are supposed to put it the base URL in another file. So each time we change our URL, we don't have to change the URL in all our file. This is something we will do in the future. So this is how we call API. If we want to view some code with ID number, it will call this API, and with call directly the controller on to the controller on the backend. That we Mr. Tuấn, let's talk about. This Angular is definitely handy more than some framework that I know. And when deployment, we run into some problem that Angular won't deploy on Heroku, so we have to put another server.js files to deploy with Node.js. That about it. That is the code explanation for the front end. We don't have. So that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. Any feedback is welcome.